2 days ago, Stacey Abrams was on MSNBC to explain her plan to get out the black vote, specifically the black male vote, which has been an Achilles heel to her campaign. While she still has about 80+% of the black male vote, it's far from being enough for her to win the election. She needs about 95% of the black male support or better if she's going to be the next governor of Georgia. The problem is, black men have been trending red, depending on the data that you trust. Since 2016, anywhere from 15 to 20% of black men have been voting for the GOP. And Stacey Abrams herself has admitted black men will determine if she wins this election. So she's been courting our vote, or at least that's what she says. But I'm not convinced, because black men don't appear to be persuaded, which I believe is the motive behind her dropping this bombshell. She says that black men are a targeted demographic for misinformation, and we don't know why we want what we deserve. In other words, she knows she's not gaining traction. But according to her, it's not her fault. We've just been fed the wrong information because we don't know why we're asking what we're asking for. So in short, she's saying, she's awesome and we're stupid. Now, I talked about this a month ago when the now fired MSNBC anchor Tiffany Cross hosted a panel discussion on why black men are trending away from the Democratic Party. Everyone on the panel was trying to help, including Roland Martin, who's been nothing more than a rubber stamp for the DNC. But they all wanted to know why. They wanted to understand our motives. So everyone there offered up viable solutions to regain the black male vote. Now, I didn't agree with their solutions, but I admired the fact that they were earnest in their efforts. Except Tiffany Cross. She didn't care to know why black men were voting for the Republicans. She just took it upon herself to lecture us. Now, I'm going to play a clip from what she said in my response of what she said from my previous video.
Roland made a really legitimate point here. I will say, you know, a lot of black men sometimes feel like they're ignored or they're put down, particularly sometimes even by black women in the media. So this is not that. But I do hear Roland's point that felt ignored. But you feel ignored and then you go over to the other side. The oppressed feel oppressed. So then you go and try to align with the oppressor. So I'm not putting black men down, but sometimes it's like, well, some of you Kevin Samuels following Tariq Nasheed quoting people, please look at the truth and see what's happening and get in line with some of the black women. Is majority, like he said, vote Democrat. But that margin of people who can be plucked away from your people and go advance policies that harm your people, I just don't understand that.
She straight up has contempt for black men, and so she's resorted to using sign language.
Shame, insult, guilt, and the need to be right.
And condescending shaming tactics. She doesn't want to understand why black men are voting Republican. She just wants them to, quote, get in line. Be good boys and do as she says. And I've got a problem with that. First of all, that's not true. The idea that black men are voting Republican because of Kevin Samuels and Tariq Nasheed is an absolute lie. Black men have been trending in that direction since 2016, 4 years prior to Kevin Samuels becoming a household name. But back then they were blaming Trump and toxic masculinity. So why are they doing it? Why are they blaming Kevin Samuels for black men voting Republican? Because they want Stacey Abrams to be the next governor of Georgia. And she has said, Stacey Abrams that is, that she can't do it without the support of black men. That if black men vote for her, she'll be the next governor, but that's not happening. So instead of taking an examination as to what they've done to push black men away, they need to create a boogeyman. They need another Trump-like target, thus Kevin Samuels. Because Kevin Samuels, in their mind, is that Trump-like boogeyman. He's just another thing for them to blame. Because the left doesn't like accountability. They're allergic to it. And when things go wrong, they deflect and pathologize the people that don't like their ideas. For example, if you're a straight man that doesn't like trans women, you're transphobic. If you don't like watching women play basketball, then you're sexist. If you don't like shows that show women fighting against the patriarchy, then you're misogynistic. And if you're a black man that doesn't vote for the Democrats, you're suffering from toxic masculinity. But this time it's coming from Kevin Samuels instead of Donald Trump. Their ideas aren't bad, you're just evil.
That's that babe Ingram right there, man. And when it all Fall down, lady forward. Hard to see forward, no longer ignore it. Some folks talk value about the statue, but when our lives seem to have more value, we come in peace just to get some peace. A cry for justice, pouring out in the streets. Should strike a nerve when you see this reality. Through this BS, yo, we just want humanity. From a code of mama, don't raise no fools. Now I'll be doggone it, time to change the rules. Cause the only way we gon' deal with these problems is to come up for those held down on bottom. Touchy is a subject that need to be touched, but when we speak up, it said we doing too much. And if you say that you don't get what this about, we asking for a hand up, not a handout. So let's talk about it. 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 Didn't wanna give us a book, so we had the book. Silo Harriet systems of hate that us stole the book. Now we just been saying it's not a good look. Started to catch it on tape, what's live on the book. So what's finna happen now? It's all on the table. Tired of the lies and we tired of the labels. Before we get a chance, we always under aim. They say we play the card, but this not a game. This is the breaking of invisible chains. You dig our fame, but you won't dig the pain. Through all the mess, yo, it's time to invest. Access alone will alleviate stress. Major concern is these babies can't learn. When given a turn, then we all can earn. At the tipping point, it's time for the turn. This ain't revenge, just justice we earn. So let's talk about it. 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 Midwest living make it hard to live. How you remain positive through the negative. The great migration, subliminal frustration. It's like we moved up north to a new plantation. Some do their best just to kill our dreams. Like no white tees, caps and sagging jeans. Why don't you go and just say what you mean? No place for us, so we can't have a scene. We need black spots like we need black props. More wealth in the hood, more black shops. More health in the hood, more black docs. More black Wall Street with more black stocks. More thriving, build it up with all black blocks. It's about time like it's all black clocks. It's about time that we even it out. Seem like we got some things to be talking about. So let's talk about it. 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 Let's talk about it.
Today, we champion the black men who've taken the reins of their lives, leading the way in family, finance, and purpose, their own unique F.F.P. We're here to uplift and to highlight the black men whose personal brands shine, illuminating the best within our community. The essence of our community lies in the power of dependability, of being useful, and consistently exuding confidence, intelligence, and assertiveness. That's the man we're here to celebrate. A man who truly embodies a meaningful, accountable nature. A true man. But our praise doesn't stop there. We raise our hats to the black women whose public and private actions beautifully mirror the strength and grace of our black men. Together, they weave the vibrant fabric of our community. Now let's celebrate the mantra that binds us. Dare to be bold, not silent. That's our rallying cry here at the Real Bravado Network. We're all about character, personal growth, and fostering a culture of accountability, all framed by this bold mantra. Our name, Real Bravado, represents our spirit, the essence of being truly bold. And that's our mission for every live stream, every conversation we have. So, let's dive into this journey together. And remember, we're here to be real, to be bold. Let's start this conversation, folks. Welcome, everyone, to our exciting live stream here on RBN, your trusted Real Bravado Network. This is your moment, your space. This is Have the Conversation And every black man, start your day with 3 words. I'm a king.
I'm a king cause I do what I want and what I need. I don't need you to nobody, I'm busy doing my thing. Mess with me and you could get forgotten, just let it sing. I don't play, I just win every day, I get it in. I'm a king cause I do what I want and what I need. I don't need you to nobody, I'm busy doing my thing. Mess with me and you could get forgotten, just let it sing. I don't play, I just win every day, I get it in. I'm a king and I will never knew. Plotting for my fall, you getting hanged for treason. I don't aim to please, do anything I feel. Haters gonna talk, don't listen to the shit. They tryna be like me, they know they can, yo. Can't even get lost, I'm on a pedestal, sitting on my throne. My neck be decked in gold, I don't do no hoes, I got a queen though. I'm a king cause I do what I want and what I need. I don't need you to nobody, I'm busy doing my thing. Mess with me and you could get forgotten, just let it sing. I don't play, I just win every day, I get it in. I'm a king cause I do what I want and what I need. I don't need you to nobody, I'm busy doing my thing. Mess with me and you could get forgotten, just let it sing. I don't play, I just win every day, I get it in. I'm a king, I told you guys before. Ready for the war, to get me way much more. Got the artist.
Welcome everyone. We are back. We are back. We are back. Welcome to the RBN, the Real Bravado Network, where we address black people issues, especially the issues that keep black folk from being together. My name is TJ, and I am your facilitator for this journey today. Wow. I'm so tired. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I am very, very, very tired. So I don't know how long of a stream is. We actually are streaming in Messy Michonne's typical time slot. The sister is on vacation. So I kind of took the opportunity to kind of get myself a little bit more rest, a little couple extra hours of rest. And so we're going to be here. And we're not going to be here long today because I got some other stuff to do. But we are back. We are back. Thank you. Welcome. And today is going to be another one. And welcome everyone to what I normally call our afternoon coffee break, but this is our evening coffee break. My goodness. Listen, before we get started, I will not be streaming tomorrow. I'm trying to stream 4 days a week. So we are going to stream on Friday, which I'm going to be calling Friday the Fuck Around and Find Out Friday. So on Friday, our Friday's afternoon coffee break stream on Fuck Around and Find Out Fridays, we might stream about anything. So it's going to be a free-for-all. So our inaugural Fuck Around and Find Out Friday stream, we are going to be bringing to the front of the class Mr. T.L.A. himself, the lead attorney here. So on our first inaugural Fuck Around and Find Out Fridays, we are going to be here at the Real Bravado Network, is going to be doing the very thing that TLA does on his show but we are going to specifically educate and provide some education to my homeboy, TLA, the lead attorney. I have never, and since I've been trying to do this live streaming for almost a year now, I have not done a stream on an individual person ever, but on this fuck around find out Friday, TLA, you will be thoroughly educated, brother. And real quick, TLA, how do you feel about that?
They are amazing.
Okay. The fuck around Fridays are going to be amazing. Okay. Great. Are you sure, TLA? Are you going to be cool with it now? Are me and you going to be cool after this Friday? Are we still going to be cool? Am I going to get kicked out of the mastermind? Are you, TLA? I'm excited about the fuck around and find out Fridays, and that you're going to kick that offer us on the Real Bravado Network. How do you find all of that, TLA?
They are amazing.
Thank you, TLA. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yes, I'm coming for the lead. And yeah, so it's going to be, we're going to have some fun with TLA on Friday. Now, I'm not guaranteeing TLA is going to be here, but the stream will be about educating the lead attorney on something. He did a stream last week and he said something and it went by so fast. And I was like, did he just say what I think he just said? We're going to educate the lead attorney. That's what we're going to do. But before we get started, before we get it started today, please, everyone in the chat, please do me a huge favor and just
Acknowledge me.
Acknowledge us here at the Real Bravado Network. Just acknowledge us here at the Real Bravado Network. And everybody in the chat, I see Mona D in the chat. I see George Smith in the chat. Welcome, George Smith. Welcome to the chat, brother. Welcome to the chat. And of course, as always, the good faithful sister Almanize is in the chat. I think, I heard Almanize is looking for a husband. I think she over here in the chat. I think, I got an opening over here, Almanize. You looking for a husband? I got an opening over here now. Before we get started today, but listen, everybody, before we get started,
Let me talk to you.
All right, let me talk to you real quick, okay? Listen, underestimate, undervalue, marginalized. If we take an honest assessment of where Black men are at in this, not only in the country, but also within its own family dynamic and also within the eyes of our women, and then also within the political structure. If we want to be honest, and sometimes being honest about something, and sometimes calling the thing a thing, is one of the hardest things for us to do. Black men are undervalued, underestimated, and marginalized. And over the last several years, Black men, especially in the social media space, have been coming out in droves, and as many sisters say, speaking their truth, which I fucking hate that phraseology. Speaking their truth. Especially when we're talking about what are the current state of of the quote unquote Black family or the Black community, now that Black men are out front talking about it, and talking about it in a way that is making all of our ladies uncomfortable. And our ladies are uncomfortable with this. And I always talk about grace and mercy too. The reason why most of our ladies are uncomfortable with it, because for most of if you are a Gen X or millennial or anything like that, or Gen Y, if you are between the ages of I would say 25 to 45, maybe 50 where I am right now, you are not accustomed to hearing men's voices in your home, especially men's voices, men in the home that were the heads of the home. Now, some of you may have had men in the home, but those men weren't the heads of the home. The mother, the woman of the home, it was her home, and she was the head of the home. And one of the things that I think Black men have openly admitted in the last 5 years is the fact that we are not in control of the family structure. We have admitted to that. And it's actually pretty emasculating for other Black men to be out in this world competing, and other men know that Black men are not in control of their family dynamic and their family structure, and also not in control of their culture's political leanings. Black women are in charge of everything Black in Black America, so-called Black America. You're in control of everything. And that's the thing, the first thing that Black men in this space had to come out and say. We had to humiliate ourselves by saying, by putting words to the thing that's a thing. And the thing that's a thing for Black men is that we have no power within the so-called Black community, that we are run by our women, that we, let me tell you something, that we as Black men are afraid of our women. We are afraid to say the thing that needs to be said to our women. And I'm not talking about on an individual level. I'm talking about as a collective. We are afraid to say the thing that needs to be said to our women, about our women. So when you get somebody like who I disagree with, an Obsidian, or you get a Kevin Samuels, or you get an Anton Daniels, or you get a Steffes Cole, or you get a Poor Man's Podcast, or you get MTR, or to a lesser degree, you get the lead attorney here. Our women lose their everlasting minds because these men are giving descriptive words to the thing that's a thing. And one of the first things that these men have said is that Black men, you need to grab your nuts and take control back of your home, and of your situation. And to do that, you need to become and learn the thing that I think it was Kevin Samuels. No, it wasn't Kevin Samuels. I think it was a white dude over on the white side of this conversation that talked about the 10 things that your father should have taught you. The Black men in this space, the first thing we did before there was a conversation about the women, the first thing we did was have a conversation about the fact that the most of us Black men are not men, and that we have to go out and become the thing that we want to have reflected in our homes and our lives, not only from a relational standpoint, but from a confidence standpoint, from a health standpoint. We have to go out and learn the thing that we weren't able to learn because because most of our fathers who are supposed to be there to teach us this, and by the way, our fathers don't even know that either, our generation of fathers. To become a thing, to say the thing that is a thing. And now that Black men are saying that thing that is a thing for Black men, and we started talking now, a lot of us that are starting to improve, starting to become aware, starting to understand what we mean to our community and how important it is for us to grow a fucking backbone and not be afraid of our women. Now that we turn the conversation to our women, we get to really now start to understand just how undervalued, underestimated, and how marginalized Black men actually are, not just in this country, but also on a micro level within our own family structure. we grew up thinking that us being marginalized or hearing our mothers talk about how crappy men are was just normal, because we didn't really understand that we didn't think they were talking about us specifically because we were their sons and daughters, we were their sons. But when you start to see that your mother co-signed some of the bullshit that the other fuck around women did, your mother was actually talking about you. And the fact that she did not give you game about the true nature of a woman and how women actually respond. And the fact that the way that she taught you how to engage with a woman would leave you unable to manage a relationship with a woman because it wasn't honest about what a woman needed or wanted. Hold on a second. I never thought I would have to jump up in the middle of my stream to go take care of something. So I apologize for everyone for that. And so now that we are marching towards the political, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, politics is going to become more of a thing over the next year as we're ramping up towards the presidential election. One of the things that came screaming out about the marginalization of Black men was during the when Stacey Abrams last year ran for governor in the state of Georgia, and how Black men were attacked because we weren't feeling Stacey Abrams. Now, I'm saying we, even though I don't live in Georgia, but Black men in Georgia really wasn't feeling Stacey Abrams. And then we got attacked. We were called, I'm saying we, because she wasn't just calling the men of Georgia stupid. Well, we being victimized by a misinformation campaign. We're too stupid. You know, translation, we're too stupid to understand that we're supposed to do what you say do. Sign language, shaming, insults, and trying to guilt us into something, and the need to be right. Once upon a time, the political movement in Black culture was headed by Black men. Now Black women, for the last 50 years, they set the tone, they set the agenda. That's why the Democrats offer so much promise to our women, because they know there's no men heading the home. When you look through, and I'm being very generic, very general right now, when you look through history, and I'm being very general, when you look through history and you look at any culture, civilization, or empire, and you see the collapse of it, especially when there's a great male leader, the collapse of a civilization, a culture, or empire did not happen because of some outside force coming in to conquer it. Throughout history, if you want to take down a 10 toes down man, a man who stands 10 toes down, you cannot take him down coming directly at him. What you do, you go through his woman. Because all things that are factual, most of us are very susceptible to our women. If you want to be biblical about it, of course we are easily swayed and by our women. From a biblical standpoint, our women come from us. How do we not have an extra softness for something that came from us? From a biblical standpoint. Black men, if the Democrats and our women of our culture, if they are concerned about where Black men loyalties lies, why don't you stop talking at us and start talking to us and then accept what we need instead of you telling us what we need? Black men are not welcomed anywhere. We're not welcome anywhere. And when somebody's doesn't seem to be welcome anywhere and there's a door that gets open slightly, guess where you're gonna go? Just from an anthropological standpoint, human natures, we love to congregate and group up. If we're not welcome in our own homes, if we're not welcome in our own communities, if we're not welcome in our churches, if Black men are not welcome in any space that they're supposed to be welcome with the people that we share the reflections, where do you think they're going to go? When a Republican Party, which I do not think has the best interest of me or my people, but if they sit down and go, hey, listen, we'll listen to you. Why the hell do you get mad if we go over there to see if they'll listen to us when you have not listened to us at all? In fact, anytime we try to talk to you, you go and you shame, insults, guilt that need to be right, sign language. You try to marginalize us, browbeat us, try to, some of y'all jump up in our face like y'all can actually whoop our ass. And because of the modern day we live in, we gotta take that. So today, we're going to review an interview that Ice Cube did with Tucker Carlson. I am not in the least bit a fan of Tucker Carlson. I do not think Tucker Carlson, when it comes to people of color, when it comes to our issues, the things that we need to do, I do not believe Tucker Carlson operates in good faith. But Black men, including Ice Cube, we're not welcomed anywhere. But a door got opened. And because we want to be heard, there's a slight opportunity for us to, if we're not careful, to be corrupted by the thing that doesn't, neither one of these groups care that much about Black men, the Republicans or the Democrats. Let's take a look at this, this interview with Ice Cube and Tucker Carlson, okay?
This, of all interviews, I mean, you could do an interview with anyone, you're doing an interview with me. Obviously, you're going to take abuse for doing that. Like, why would you do that?
Because I think it's silly not to talk to people. I think whether we agree or not,
right? That
has nothing to do with it. It's like, this is what it's all about. Let's talk about it. Let's debate. And I've been shut out.
Wait, that sounds like right-wing extremism and whataboutism.
But I've been shut out. Some platforms will not have me on.
Why?
They don't like that I'm,
Ice Cube, the founder, one of the co-founders of NWA, Mr. F the Police, Mr. Straight Outta Compton, Mr. No Vaseline, Mr. Friday, 1, 2, 3, and 18 and 30. Are we there yet? All About the Benjamins, not just the song, but the movie. He is no longer welcome in spaces that he used to be welcomed in, all because he said, let's make a contract for Black America with America. This is crazy. And the only way he can have this conversation is to go to somebody like Tucker fucking Carlson. Yeah, maybe I should get one of those, Kunli. I I've been going back and forth over that, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a bleeding heart or overly optimistic about our situation, dude. I don't know.
Independent thinker. I'm not part of the herd. I'm not part of the go along to get along gang, so to speak. So, I'm an outsider. And so, I'm not part of the club. So I have to go places for one that I'm welcome and where I can voice my opinion without somebody, saying I'm a bad person and that they never want to have me on their platform again.
What platforms have banned you?
I've been I tried to go on The View. They didn't have me on The View.
Why?
Well, a few of the guests.
This is crazy. Do you guys know how many times Ice Cube has been on The View and they no longer want him? They're shutting out Ice Cube. The dude that led the song Fuck the Police. That dude. One of the fathers of the quote unquote woke movement. The View. Ice Cube. Ice Cube. I'm outdone. Maybe there's something to this when these Republicans, when these Republic garbage cans, when they talk about the Democrats hate free thinkers, when they shut doors for mainstream people, when the mainstream Democrat leaning media shuts doors on a guy like Ice Cube who they're in line with, maybe the Republic garbage cans can, maybe they're correct about the Democrats and the fact that the Democrats hate a free thinker.
Just really didn't like where I was coming from. So, or a few of the hosts, I mean. So that's what I was told by the producers. I don't know if the producers was just copping out and using some of the hosts to not have me come on and explain myself, but...
You'd be a good booking for them.
I've been on...
You would think you think Whoopi Goldberg don't have access to Ice Cube personally? You think Ice Cube don't have access to Whoopi Goldberg to be like, yo, why can't I get on the show? Or why I can't be on the show? Why the one black woman on the show can't even be like, yo, bruh, can't even just tell him? They just want to ghost him. This is fucking ridiculous.
Here before.
Yeah.
It's just when I've became an independent thinker, when I've, I'm not, I don't follow their brand of politics, I guess.
But here's the thing. Ice Cube does follow their brand of politics. They're just pissed off that he's saying that Ice Cube was like, look, we got to do something about our black families. I guess if you are aligned with the Democrats, and the first time you say we got to do something about black families, you get excommunicated. Why does the Democrats, listen, black women in my chat, black women who might hear this later, or why would you continue to align with someone who does not want your man around? They want you by yourself. I did a whole stream a few months ago saying it's not a conspiracy, it's economics. They want black men and black women not together from an economic standpoint Because when you have a whole culture of individuals, there is 2 and 3 times the money that needs to be spent for that person's living, just basic living. Me, I got a home. The woman I want, she got a home. I got 2 cars, she got 2 cars. I got insurance, she got insurance. I gotta buy groceries, she gotta buy groceries. There is incentive. There's financial incentive for us to be separate. The last 2 years of the mortgage, the mortgage industry was booming because so many black women who are by themselves, who do not have a husband, were out in the market buying homes. And so were your upward mobile black men. They just had a plethora of people running through the market instead of they sold double the amount of homes because black men and black women won't get together. Instead of me taking my $250 or $300,000 that I'm going to pay for my home and putting it into a retirement account, now I got to spend it on a home, and then Almani's got to take her $250,000 or $300,000, or my sexy is strong Terry has to take her $250,000 or $300,000 and put it into some debt, when that money could come directly back. And there's no guarantee. They're like, oh, there's never a guarantee that money that we invest in that home we will ever get back. We hope it does. It has a historical return. Why are we both paying $2,000, $2,500, $1,100, or $1,500 a month in just a mortgage? Why are we both doing that? But every damn time the Republican garbage cans and the Democrats, anytime somebody, especially on the Democrat side, so one of us come in and say, great Democrats, we got to fix our black family. That person gets excommunicated, gets shut down. And normally that person is the black man. We are out here trying to get our families back together. We are out here begging and pleading with our women, trying to have logical conversations, holding up the red sign, and all we getting is pushback and fight. And the Democrats are siding with us being separate. Girl, going back to the old feminist movement, don't let no man tell you what to do. It's slavery cooking for your man. It's slavery going up under their leadership. You are an equal partner. All the while, these motherfuckers are going home to their husbands, cooking and cleaning and being a partner with their husbands. You even got black folks out here in the fuckery like Beyonce, charging $1,500 for a damn concert, charging a mortgage for her concerts, going back home to her man, up on stage dancing. All the single ladies, all the single what? While being at home, while going home to her man. And by the way, put up with the cheating.
Money making is my thing, cause I'm trying to be rich, trying to put away meals.
Here comes the money.
Here we go.
Here comes the...
All right. Shout out to John the Baptist for the $10 super sticker. Thank you, brother, for the support. Thank you for the support. Yes, I went a little bit longer on my rants before I got to my super chats. But you know, you guys who are with me know how I feel about super chats and delaying acknowledging those super chats, because these are the encouragements that keep you going. These are the encouragements to let you know that the subject matter that you're trying to provide, the discussion you're trying to have is landing with somebody. So John the Baptist, thank you for the $10 super sticker. I appreciate it. Then next up, who we got are Almond Eyes. No, not one woman on The View has a black. Almond, say that shit again. Not one woman on The View has a black husband.
I said what I said.
One woman on The View has a black husband.
Bang! Bang! It's good.
That deserved a Theo. Not one woman on The View has a black husband.
Yes.
Not one.
Absolutely.
Right? What?
Got it.
Not one. Not one. And I cannot not go anywhere without having to just simply acknowledge my sexy is strong. Terry, I got something for you, because I'm definitely going to do this for you. Acknowledge me. I definitely got to hit you with the delegation of black families has been the plan since degradation of the black family has been the plan since forever. It's sad folks don't see. I think they see it. I just don't think they give a fuck. And the steady drinking of the Kool-Aid. Absolutely. I just don't think they care, Terry. I don't think they care at all. John the Baptist hit me back with a super chat. Brother, I got to get you. When a black man says we need to do something to fix the black family, black women hear this ninja wants to control the family and me. They want to listen to listen to Ice Cube. So what? The majority of the black men I know make very good, sound decisions. That's their job. Your job as a wife, a woman to a man, is to be his chief counsel. Why is that such a problem? Somebody has explained to me what is so wrong about being the chief counsel to your man. I don't understand that at all. John the Baptist hit me again with that was it. And then last but not least, preach. Thank you, Mr. Team Peterson, with the $2 super chat. Preach, TJ, preach. Can the congregation say amen? I need to get a drop about that. You guys, the volume of super chats that you just sent me, listen, I got something for everybody. Let me tell you something. TLA, they just hit your boy up with all of these super chats. What do you think about that, TLA?
They are amazing.
Absolutely. Tell them one more time, TLA. I don't think they heard you.
They are amazing.
Oh, so this is what they deserve for those super chats. Thank everyone for the super chats. You don't know how much that actually means to me, and the encouragement to keep doing what I'm doing, to grow over here and to get better. Let's get back to this over here, man. I can't even, this is just frustrating.
You can't think for yourself, then you're not really free, are you?
No, you're not. You're not.
I don't know if I should have pulled this because I played it yesterday when Joe Biden, a Democrat, a long-standing Democrat, went on the Breakfast Club and told Charlemagne and the crew over there, you ain't black if you don't vote for me. And Charlemagne, sorry, punk ass bitch, if you ask me, sat there and let that man get away with that garbage. And I'm so glad Larry Elder, when he came in that studio, he pulled Charlemagne's whole card on that one. But y'all want to sit there and try to little boy Larry Elder, because Larry Elder's platform is let's do something about the black family, which I'm telling you the Breakfast Club agrees with. Just is crazy. people who align with those Democrats. And let me tell you something. I've never not voted for somebody that wasn't a Democrat. That's probably going to change now. Now that I'm as what they say, I'm woke. Oh, I'm woke. These people don't give a damn. They go after our women and sell them a bit of our women. Y'all got to get out of y'all feelings about shit. Because y'all embrace that little ass clown Derek Jackson because he made you feel good. Every time somebody I tell women all the time, I tell ladies all the time, if a motherfucker is making you feel that good just with his words, please, buyer beware.
But I've been excluded. I've been excluded on Oprah. You know,
on Oprah.
On Oprah, yeah, I've been excluded. Yeah, man.
I would think you'd be the person Oprah would want to promote. I mean, you grew up in South Central, you were successful at a young age, you have dignity, you say what you think. Like, I thought that was the goal.
Me too. You know, I don't know what it is, but, you know, several of my, you know, I had a movie called Barbershop, you know.
Yeah, I remember.
That I wasn't invited to participate with the cast. I produced a show called Black White.
Whoa. Did y'all just, wait a minute. I must have missed something. Did I just hear Ice Cube said that he produced a movie, he produced Barbershop, and he wasn't allowed, I gotta back up,
You know, I don't follow their brand of politics, I guess.
But if you can't think for yourself, then you're not really free, are you?
No, you're not. You're not. But I've been excluded. I've been excluded on Oprah, you know.
On Oprah?
On Oprah, yeah, I've been excluded. Yeah, man.
I would think you'd be the person Oprah would want to promote. I mean, you grew up in South Central, you were successful at a young age, you have dignity, you say what you think. Like, I thought that was the goal.
Me too. You know, I don't know what it is, but, you know, several of my, you know, I had a movie called Barbershop, you know.
Yeah, I remember.
That I wasn't invited to participate with the cast. I produced a show called Black White, and it was a very controversial show. And once again, they had the whole cast on, but I wasn't invited.
How do you do that? How do you do that? How does the damn cast show up and Ice Cube ain't the guy who produces it, the guy who funds it, the guy who signs the paychecks, the guy who employs all of these people who went out, got the fund. Do you guys not know that Ice Cube writes most of his movies by himself? Do you guys not know that he's actually the writer, producer? And he goes out, secures the funding. He hires these people. He put people to work, not just on the screen, but behind the screen, behind the scenes. Do you know what a film does to a local economy? And his cast gets invited onto a show and he can't go, and he's a major employer. Fuck his cast for showing up. Fuck y'all. What the fuck you mean he can't come? And I promised myself that I would stop cussing so much. I guess this old saying, to be a black man in America is to be in a constant state of rage. I did not think this was going to go like this. This is maddening. This is maddening. My title for this stream fits more than I thought. Black men are not welcomed anywhere. Any goddamn where. My God. Whew.
So I don't know. I don't know what that's
on Oprah's show.
Yeah. So I don't know what that's really
But Oprah's obviously a saintly, godlike figure who's revered by all decent people. Why would she exclude you?
I really don't know. You know, that's something that I would love to find out. But I can't tell you, you know, if there's a single thing that I've done or said to her.
Have you noticed that it is more controversial to criticize Oprah than to burn the American flag?
Really?
Seems that way. I've never heard anybody criticize Oprah. Do you think
Oprah's chief queen mother? Chief queen mother. We can't critique queen mother. You'll be excommunicated from the culture. Look what happened to Monique crazy ass, and Monique is crazy. But that don't mean she wasn't right. That doesn't mean Monique wasn't right.
it's political, or do you think it's deeper than that? I mean, you're not like a right winger.
No.
No. You don't even seem that political.
No, I'm not really. I'm pretty much, just want to do right by the.
Ice Cube is a manifestation of what should become the best of a black man. If you watch his transition, he is what, let's stop calling him Ice Cube. O'Shea Jackson. That's his name. O'Shea Jackson is what we rave and say black men should be. O'Shea is married. O'Shea is a father that he raised his children in a two-parent household. O'Shea Jackson, not Duke Jackson. Don't let's not get it mixed up with the brother on YouTube. But O'Shea Jackson, this brother here, O'Shea Jackson, he's married, father, stayed in the house with his wife and his children. He built an empire. He hired people. Let me explain something to you. O'Shea Jackson does not have a dog in the fight. He has his woman. He has his children. He has a legacy. He has investments for his family. He has a legacy to pass on. O'Shea does not have to spend 1 second of the rest of his life dealing with the rest of us non-connected people. He doesn't have to do this. But black men have such a profound, strong sense of community that he's taken his time, his efforts, his energy, his resources, his name, his credibility, because he wants for us what he has. And this brother can't go anywhere other than to the Republic garbage cans. He can't go where he's supposed to be able to go. Ice Cube couldn't walk into a black church anymore and talk like this because the black church is too busy trying to separate black women from their damn money. So they pander to them. Remember when T.D. Jakes did that sermon talking about, telling black women, stop telling your man how you don't need them no more? In the next week in church, his church was empty. Black men, O'Shea doesn't need to do this. He doesn't need the headache. He doesn't need the stress. O'Shea has gotten his stuff and he's gone. He can go on. He doesn't have a dog in a fight. But he's out here with us single, stupid people. Those of us that haven't found a way to couple up, I'm talking about me, anybody that's single, that's of a certain age now. We're the dumbasses out here. And we got people like Ice Cube trying, begging, and it's cliche that we're better together. Ain't that right, LA Knight? Yeah. Even the white boy know we are better together, right, LA Knight? Yeah.
Money making is my thing, cause I'm trying to be rich, trying to put away meals.
Here comes the money.
Here we go.
Here comes the
Shout out to John the Baptist. Once again, supporting your brother strong. Supporting your brother strong. Mr. John the Baptist with the, I'm always, I can never find it, what I'm looking for. Here we go. Thank you, John the Baptist. Oprah Winfrey doesn't mind talking to the 1990 Ice Cube, the young boy who said, fuck the popo, right. But it doesn't benefit the gynocracy to see Oprah Winfrey speaking to the 2023 Ice Cube. TLA, what do you got to say about that?
They are amazing.
Yes, these super chats are absolutely amazing. And not just the money, I'm talking about the communication that's coming in with it. Shout out to the Uncle Junior Network. What's up, good brother? I know you're going live shortly. Appreciate you. This is crazy. This is so sad on so many levels. This is just sad on so many levels.
People, you know, so if that comes through political means, that comes through the private sector, wherever it comes, you know, I'm down to work with whoever's down to do something right for the people.
So I remember reading you say something along the lines of, I didn't vote for Trump, I'm not a Trump voter. You actually attacked Trump at one point, but you were willing to meet with Trump. Do you think that crossed a line?
I think some people didn't like that, but I think it's idiotic.
Now here comes Tucker Carlson with his fuckery. We all know where you stand, Tucker.
You know, enemies meet.
Right.
You know, they talk.
Hold on.
You know, that's something that I would love to find out. But I can't tell you, you know, if there's a single thing that I've done or said to her.
Have you noticed that it is more controversial to criticize Oprah than to burn the American flag?
Really?
Seems that way. I've never heard anybody criticize Oprah. Do you think it's political or do you think it's deeper than that? I mean, you're not like a right winger.
No.
You don't even seem that political.
No, I'm not really. I'm pretty much, you know, just want to do right by the people, you know. So if that comes through political means, that comes through the private sector, wherever it comes, you know, I'm down to work with whoever's down to do something right for the people.
So I remember reading you say something along the lines of, I didn't vote for Trump, I'm not a Trump voter. You actually attacked Trump at one point, but you were willing to meet with Trump. Do you think that crossed a line?
I think some people didn't like that, but I think it's idiotic. You know, enemies meet.
Did you hear what Ice Cube said? Even enemies meet. Black men are not welcome anywhere. But enemies meet. Unless you are a black man talking about, we got to do something about this fuckery with the black family unit.
Right.
You know, they talk. I'm pretty sure there's some communication between Russia and the Ukraine right now. Somebody's on the phone.
Facts. Facts. Big facts. Such a big facts, I got to give him a Theo.
Bang! Bang! It's good!
Facts.
I'm talking to somebody, trying to come up with a solution. So we got to talk. That's the only way we're going to work this out. You know, I know when the talking stops, the fighting starts. You know, a lot of people, they, think I'm a, Republican. I'm a right-winger. Just because I was willing to speak to the Trump administration, and I was willing to speak with the Biden administration as well,
Have you?
One guy in the administration, but it didn't go anywhere. It was basically a, take my temperature kind of call. We'll get to it, but, they never got to it or never planned to.
I just had to let that be the last word. They took a call with one guy, take his temperature, and that was it. And these are our Democrats, and they want us to come vote for them. And then they try to scold black men like we're little boys. Everybody tries to little boy us. Black men, let me tell y'all something. I don't care what environment you are in, your employment environment, your home environment, your church environment, your community environment, if you're a grown man, and even with your own family, mothers, do not allow anybody to little boy you just because it's the popular thing to do. We got to stop this nonsense about letting people talk to us crazy, try to browbeat us into situations. Stand on your square. Be like Job in the Bible. 10 toes down. Stand where you know what's right. Off tomorrow. We're back Friday for our first installment of Fuck Around to Find Out Friday. And what we're going to do Friday is we're going to do some educating with TLA. Y'all, listen. Black men are not welcome anywhere. Listen, I know, over here at the Real Bravado Network, we started out a year ago talking about relationships and the issues between black men and black women, and we've had a lot of discussions about them. This is also about black relationships between black men and black women. Even our political leanings, even these type of discussions, even the fact that black men feel like we're not welcomed anywhere. We cannot have these impressions from black men if there wasn't a severe critical breakdown. I said yesterday, we as black family or black folk or black community, we are terminal right now. We're terminal. We're terminal with 6 months left to go, and we're walking around here doing things like we got 35, 40 more years to go. We don't. We're absolutely fucking terminal. See you guys on Friday.
I'm a king cause I do what I want and what I need. I don't need you to nobody, I'm busy doing my thing. Mess with me and you could get forgotten, just let it.
Hold on a second. John the Baptist, come on back. If you want to come up, come on back. Just at the last minute, John the Baptist popped in. Hold on. I want to get him up if he can come up. Just as I was about to get out of here, John the Baptist popped on in. Let me see if he. I'm gonna put the link back down. I'll give you a couple minutes. If you want to come back, you want to come back up. Sorry, I was just sitting around at the last minute. John the Baptist popped up in the background, and I want to make sure I would like to take. I often don't get people wanting to come up, but I will take a call even if we're trying to get out of here. I can wait for a call, especially if John the Baptist want to come. So I'm going to go ahead and give him a minute or two to come on up. Let me play the rest of this Ice Cube clip to see if John the Baptist want to come up.
Matter of fact, the guy left the administration, so after talking to him for a year or so, he was gone, and then, we were left really with no one to continue the conversations.
What do you think of Biden?
I don't think he's given the people who put him in exactly what they thought they were going to get from him.
But his most loyal voters, according
John the Baptist, welcome.
Real Bravado, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for coming on up. You're actually my very first caller.
Man, I gotta tell you, bro, I can't believe it because your subject's gonna fire tonight.
Man, look, it's when I saw this clip, this interview with Tucker Carlson and Ice Cube. First of all, I was angry that he had to go to Tucker Carlson to even. The man just wants to have a conversation.
That's it.
And he's being marginalized because he wants to have a conversation.
And that's how it is. We have to realize something as black men. Society don't want us around in our families. Because one thing about men in general, we have the power and the ability to affect change. And whenever you got a force that can affect change, and a segment of the population doesn't want change, they don't want you around.
No.
Oprah has the platform that if she was about black people and unity, she has the platform as a woman that where she can promote a man like Ice Cube and men in general and present to us the ideal what a man is. But she's chosen not to promote the idea of what a man should be, but promote the idea of what they see, how they see men. Matter of fact, it's not about how they see men, how they see society.
Yes.
And the society is a granocracy. They do not want to see us in control.
No, they do not. And Oprah proved that when she came out with The Color Purple.
Yes.
And her and Steven Spielberg. And maybe we need to do that when they actually break down The Color Purple and during that time when it first came out, The Color Purple did just as much harm to the mindset of a black woman about their image of black men as the feminist movement did. That's how damaging The Color Purple was, because it made it seem not only The Color Purple, but you fast forward almost 20 years later to Waiting to Exhale. I'm serious, that just the image, and then you fast forward almost another 15 years, and then you got Tyler Perry with his fuckery. Well, because if a black man is upward mobile, then that makes him violent, a cheater, a wife beater, and all this other stuff. Throughout history, black folk have done more to damage our own image than anything else, and black people in positions of influence, like an Oprah, like a Tyler Perry.
You just put out a pattern as you were speaking, as you talked about The Color Purple, and you talk about the Waiting to Exhale, and then you said that Tyler Perry came along. I'm not sure if you intentionally did this, but you did it. You actually did it. You made me see a pattern. Is that those first two movies made you look at men in a negative way. They were designed to make you look at men in a negative way. What Tyler Perry did was internalize that hatred towards men and began promoting his own movie. So if you teach somebody long enough to hate themselves, they will hate themselves eventually.
Yeah. I mean, Tyler Perry.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, just jumping up and, when I first saw that Medea character, I didn't think anything of it. I was very benign. But the more I start looking at this, And the more he was building his empire and on pretending and dressing up like a woman, the more disgusted I got. And the more I started looking at his movies and his platform with a critical eye.
It's the subliminal. It's the subliminal messaging they do with that. It's like from Tyler Perry to Martin Lawrence to who was it? Was it Eddie Murphy? Not Eddie Murphy. Was the other guy? But many black men have done it, and I didn't see it either. As a teenager, growing up in the 80s and 90s, I didn't see it either. It was like haha funny, right? But you don't realize the emasculating how emasculating it is as a young boy to see that growing up, because you grow up thinking this stuff is harmless, but not realizing that it's that harm and damage that it's doing to men.
Absolutely. And let me tell you something. And then, I don't know. I'll go a little personal. So I ended up 8 years ago having a child with a woman, right? And she had a male child. And this woman lived in a home with her mother. I remember one day I was over there and just, spending time with my daughter. She was an infant. Spending time with my daughter, playing with my daughter's probably about 8 or 9 months old at the time. And I'm sitting there listening to this grandmother and my daughter's mother sit there trashing black men and how there ain't no good. There ain't no good. This black man is sitting in there holding his, talking about how black men ain't no good, how we can't be trusted, how we can't be dependent on, how we don't do this and how we don't do that. So they're saying this with a black man in the home. They're sitting in the home holding his daughter. Also saying this while this lady's own 9-year-old son is laying on the floor coloring. And I got so fed up. I said to the grandmother, I said, I didn't even make it about me. I said, do you two ladies realize that the little boy laying on the floor will become a man one day? And all he's hearing is how you, as his mother and his grandmother, find very little value in him simply because he's a boy. I said, y'all need to be careful about what you say around your little boy, and because you don't never know how he's internalizing this. And the grandmother jumps up at me, starts barking at me. There ain't no lion gonna come up in here, roaring like a lion up in this house. I said, somebody needs to roar like a lion up in here, because you two cackles, I said, just like that, you two cackling women are completely, utterly out of control. You sit up here dragging me, and you got a man over here with his child. I'm not married to that woman, but I'm over here. I come when you call. I come when you don't call. I walk in the house and I see a need, and I fulfill the need because my daughter's in here. And then you got a little boy sitting up in there.
It's difficult, right, for men to have to experience what you're talking about, but most of us experience it. And so as a little boy, as you grow up, you're like, okay, what I experienced as a child shouldn't have been what I experienced. So as a man, as you growing into a man, you begin to figure out, okay, if this wasn't right, then what is right? And then how do I get from what was it to what it should be? And one of the most difficult things from getting to what it was, from what it was to what it should be, is learning how to cut off those who are in what it was and don't want to get to what it should be. And until you learn how to cut those off to get to what it should be and rebuild when you get to what it should be, you'll always be stuck in what it was.
Absolutely. Let me go ahead and recognize these super chats real quick. Hold on a second.
Money making is my thing, cause I'm trying to be rich, trying to put away meals.
All right, shout out to Almond Eyes. Thank you once again, Almond Eyes. Almond Eyes, let me know in the chat. Do you have my email address? Because I need to get up with you about that stuff I chatted with you. But yeah, the Color Purple review, I'll be calling in for that. Yeah, I think we need to do a breakdown of the Color Purple. We absolutely do. Because I know Kevin Samuels talked about, how detrimental the color purple was, but I don't think anybody has sat down on a live and just did a deep dive analysis of what that damn movie did and broke it down. Broke it down what it actually did. All right. Once again, Terry, thank you. Tyler Perry used the painful experience, yes, of some Black women. Now, we're not going to sit up here, me and John the Baptist, we're not going to sit up here and pretend like there are not men, not just Black men, there are not men who are brutal barbarians. But the overwhelming majority of Black men are not these brutal barbarians that we are portrayed to be. Our women, and our women have made such catastrophic decisions by the men that they reproduce with that they have tunnel vision. So they see a lot of the world, a lot of Black men through the eyes of the men that they selected to lay up with and reproduce with. Tyler Perry used the painful experiences of Black women with Black men to make money. Yeah, of course he did. Everybody makes money off of us. It's a reality, but it's not everyone's reality. These images aren't fair to Black men. John the Baptist, the last 5 years, I've never been so more proud to be a Black man in these last 5 years because I'm seeing Black men in mass saying, you know what? We're done. We're done accepting this nonsense. We're done being pushed around. We're done catering to your needs and your wants. Sorry, Black women, your needs and your wants has gotten us to a point where we are terminal. We're just terminal. My goodness.
So I don't know if I've seen you before on I think it was I'm sorry, I just went blank on This Might Be Risky.
Yeah.
Very intelligent young man. It's like when I heard you speak, I was like, yeah. I've been impressed since I saw you. And very insightful, very in tune, know what's going on. I could tell you're a man of age and wisdom. I'm not trying to put you out there, saying not calling you old, but just hearing you speak, I can just tell you're a man of age and wisdom. And so to hear you speaking tonight and the things that you're saying and the dots that you're connecting, it's actually proven to be even more true than when I saw you on This Might Be Risky. But yeah, you are so into it right now that we have to stop catering as men, stop catering to women, because you need to focus on the mission and the goal that's before you. When you focus on the mission and the goal that's before you, the women and children will follow.
Mm-hmm.
They will fall in line.
Yep, they'll fall in line.
I'm not trying to take over your platform or nothing, but
no.
I'm a traditional man, traditional in marriage, traditional in society. I'm a Bible believing man. That's what guides my principles in life. So it is nothing about that I believe in that tells me that I should put a woman on a pedestal.
Right, and ain't nothing wrong with taking care of your woman, loving your woman, and all. Look, I tell people all this all the time, and people don't like. I get so much pushback. I tell them, I said, for women, when I talk about their decisions, I say, listen, there's no requirement for you as a woman to love your man. It's a requirement for you to honor and respect him. That's biblical. There's a requirement for a man to love you because he has to die for you. So a man has to have enough love for you to protect you and the willing to sacrifice his life. That's what God was put on a man. But this might be risky. The reason why I went up on that platform is I could not. I emailed the host, the fellow. I said, I will pay to come up. Because that woman on that platform got up there talking about she can raise a boy into a man better than any other man. I couldn't, and I got more pissed off at the men for letting that shit slide.
Yes.
I went up there, man, and then she came at me like, and I told her, I said, I know what you're trying to do. You trying to get me to give you some kind of tools and guidelines to make us obsolete. And I told her straight up, I ain't finna let you do that. Them brothers will let you do that. I ain't finna let you do that.
And that's the thing about it. It's like society is they're showing us on over again that men are replaceable. That's what they want you to believe, that men are replaceable. And I don't buy into that narrative.
Black men are replaceable. They're not correct. White. And then our women got this nonsense that any old man can do. Any old man can do. You can have a baby with whoever, but you can drop any old Black man into that baby's life and it's okay. It's not.
It's not. It
something different. There's something different to when your dad. Look, I'm 45 now. I met my father when I was 30. I'm telling you right now, some of the stuff, the conversations that my dad has with me now is still about, and I tell a lot of guys, a lot of women, a lot of us guys in our age bracket, we're just starting to come into this shit. And when I'm having conversations with my father, and I tell other men that their fathers wasn't around, hey, I know, don't necessarily believe that bullshit what your mama told you. Because I found out a whole bunch of crap while my father wasn't around for 30 years, you know? But it's just, when I'm having these conversations with my father, it hit different, as they like to say. His knowledge, his wisdom, his words, they hit different.
They do.
They hit way different. Way different. And even as a 45-year-old man, and then because when I met my father, I got to meet his father, which is still alive, my grandfather. His talk hits different. You know, and they sit there and think that that's just cavalier, that could come from any. I've had male mentors along the way, but none of them has done for me in my masculine development than my father has, and I met that sucker when I was 30.
Man, it don't take. Well, you can have coaches, cool. You can have mentors, cool, and we appreciate men who are mentors, who are coaches. You are a blessing to society. But there's nothing like a personal father that I can say, hey, Dad, how do I handle this situation? And when he give me that advice, it's like, not that coaches want anything, not that mentors want anything, but even if I don't play football, will you still mentor me if I don't score a touchdown? If I can't block that defensive end, will you still give me advice? Will you see? I don't work. See, if you got a dad won't do that. A dad will, if you can't block, I'll teach you. If you can't turn a wrench, I'll teach you. And what does he want in return?
Nothing.
And that's what you can't. That kind of advice, that advice that's not attached to anything but that blood relationship, cannot be imitated by anything else in life.
Speaking along those lines, let me tell you something. I know we're kind of off topic, but this is a good talk about our dads. Listen,
I didn't mean to do that to you. My bad.
No. It just prompted me with a story. I told you I'm 40, so I've known my dad for 15 years. Me and my dad had our first argument about 2 months ago, and it was ugly. My dad is an HVAC technician by trade, so my air conditioning system went out in the house. I needed a new one, so I bought everything, and my dad was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and." You know, he came over and he put it in for me, right? So, and it took a little bit extra work because of the way that they put the old system in. My dad had to do some, so it took another 2.5 hours more than what it normally do. So when I was done, when my father was done, and I was fixing up some steaks, making some steaks. My dad loves steaks, so got him some steaks, and so we were at the table, man. So I slid my dad an envelope. It had $1,000 in there. Here you go, Pops. I appreciate you. That it was like a whole nother man showed up. That dude turned colors, started foaming at the mouth because he was so offended, you know what I mean, by the fact that I offered him resources for something that he just thinks that's just my job. I'm your father. Yeah, you might be a 45-year-old man, but I got the skill to do this, and my skills are for my family, whether you're a 45-year-old man or a 50-year-old man. And so me and him are arguing. I'm arguing with this. I mean, we're like shouting at each other. And I'm telling him, I said, I understand, but this is my appreciation for that. If not for you, this would be another $3,000-$4,000. I told him, I said, go, just take the damn money. I started cussing at him. Take the damn money. But it got so ugly. He finally, because my father, because I am my father's child. So ain't no backing down. So I guess he finally looked at me and he just snatched the envelope. He's like, he said, I'm gonna take this damn money because I think I'm gonna have to shoot your ass in a minute. and he just snatched the money and stormed out the house. He left his tools, But to your point,
yes,
they will do things, and there's nothing. The payment is the doing. The payment is, you know what I mean? So yeah, father, your father would do stuff that a mentor or coach could do that there's no expectation of reciprocity there. It's just the feeling of this is my obligation to you. Man, that was actually kind of, now I'm thinking back about it because I know how much of a short fuse and a pistol my father is. Probably a little dangerous for me to kind of get up and it was kind of funny later because we were arguing over money, like, and not know, just the fact that I wanted to give it to him and he didn't want to take it. I mean, that was just crazy.
Yeah, it's not even crazy because as a dad, he's looking at like, maybe because I'm generalizing because I don't know you guys specifically, but just generalizing. Even though you don't had a 15-year relationship that you knew that you actually experienced, he didn't see it as a 15 relationship. He saw it as, me generally speaking, I see it as I hear you talking. He saw it as you always been my son, even though I didn't know I had one.
Mm-hmm.
Or even if whatever the dynamic of your relationship was.
I get you, yeah.
And so now that he had a relationship with you, to him it's like a real man. To me, he sounds like a real man. Like, this is my son, and no matter what I have, skills, money wise, whatever it is, it's for him. And I translate that, as I hear you talk about your dad, I translate that to my son. Because similar to you, I didn't have a relationship with my father growing up, but to my son, who is now 26 and about to get married, somehow this son, my firstborn, can get anything I got. He can have it.
Mm-hmm.
Wisdom, knowledge, experience, money, house, car. He can have it. Why? Because he's an extension of me. And like the title of the show is, also recognized too, the reason why he can have it, because I understand no matter where he goes in life, he'll never be accepted anywhere else. Most places don't even want to see him anymore. But I want him to know that you're always accepted with me.
Yeah.
The world may not want you as a man. They may try to emasculate you, but I want you to realize that you're always accepted here.
Mm-hmm.
You can roar as loud as you want to roar. He doesn't live with me anymore. But when you come back home, you can roar here like you can roar at your own house.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of that, now I have 7 sisters with my father. My sisters do not know a life without my father. They were all raised in the house with him. People get really weird when I tell them that how remarkable of a father he was, even though he didn't raise me. And I said I watched what he did with 7 daughters. I can separate my issue from watching with this man. It's a remarkable man. So, but my sisters have never known a life without this man. So because they don't know that, because he married their mother and all of them girls are with their mother, they take him for granted. They take my father for granted. And so there are times where I'm over there and my sisters are over, and they're just doing stuff that, asking for stuff, I got a sister, man, she comes in every week with a list of stuff that she needs to have done at her house. She just flops it on the table in front of them. And so sometimes I'll bark at them about, respecting what that man do. And my father, he's hilarious. So when I'm too tough on my sisters, he'll just kind of lift his head up and go, all right, that's enough.
The dynamic part, the ironic part about what you're saying though is, it's take it off the film here for a second, but that's the reason why men should be needed, because when a man has women in his family or in his circle, he is responsible for the women in his family in his circle. Absolutely. He is responsible. So when them daughters come to the dad with that list, their dad is pretty much their husband until they get married. And I don't know your dynamic of family. I don't dynamic of family. I'm not trying to get to your personal business.
And me and my sisters, boy, two of them girls, I've had them conversations like, look, Pops is, 65 years old, y'all gotta go find somebody, because I ain't for the, I want my Pops for to retire this year. Yeah. He got to enjoy some of this. Can't do all this work for y'all. And I got some good looking sisters, Yeah, but unfortunately, this just remind me, I kind of had it out with their mother too. I didn't turn into the man that I don't care where I'm gonna, where I'm gonna cause chaos at. But I was talking to them, and I was talking to the mother. I said, and the mother was, my sisters are hard to get along with. They're career driven, independent. And so I was talking to their mother about that. I was like, listen, I said, your daughters they're in their early 30s now. I said, listen, these girls got to get a husband. And so the mom was like, I don't want them with just any old body, and they don't want them to accept any old thing. And I looked at their mother, and I said, Mama, listen, why don't you want for your daughters with what you got? You 35 years in the game with my father. You're retired 10 years early. Your home is paid off for. Your life, you on cruise control. Why don't you want that for your daughters? And of course, it's not going to be easy and hard. I'm not telling them, I don't want my sister to accept some low rate bum, but there are guys out there they can get along with. But yeah, they're gonna. But my father, he's run off knuckle. My dad will run off a knucklehead in a heartbeat. He ain't got no problem, running off a knucklehead. But in my dad's philosophy is, I don't want you going out here begging, whining some other man when I'm here, because my father understands we're men. We understand when sometimes with women, when we doing something, it's because we want something. And my dad doesn't want his daughters to pay a price that they shouldn't have to pay when he's sitting right there. So I get it. Trust me, I get it. But I be on them girls, boy. Woo.
Yeah. But that's what, for the title of your show, that's why Black men are needed. We are needed. And, we may not be wanted anywhere, but we need it everywhere.
We're definitely needed. One more super chat.
Everywhere.
Let me get this last super chat.
Money making is my thing, because I'm trying to be rich, trying to put away meals.
Shout out to the Quiet Storm. Hey, Mr. Inclandestin. That's what I call the Quiet Storm, because I actually know who he is. My father broke it down to me very simple. He said, son, I made a lot of mistakes. For that, I'm sorry, but it wasn't entirely my fault. Your mother isn't honest. Don't believe me. Just keep living. He was 100% right. A lot of us with the dads that are not around, Kevin talked about that a lot. He begged me, listen, before you cut your father off, get his side of the story. And I've said on my platform multiple times that a lot of us guys don't want to be honest about that our mothers are just women with the same trappings, the same issues, the same inclinations as any other woman. And I even went as far to say some of us guys don't want to admit the fact that our mothers are a bunch of hoes. Some of our mothers are a bunch of hoes.
I had the unfortunate childhood of seeing my mom in the real light that she was, and so it was never no rose-colored glasses when I'm looking at this situation, because you can't look at rose-colored glasses when you live in a dog full of life is what it is. You see it and you smell it. But I can't honestly say about my mother who raised me was did to the best of her ability, but made a lot of mistakes. But she never did really lie about my dad. She didn't talk bad about him or anything,
which is great.
Which is great, which is great.
Yeah,
but also knew my mom too, though. I'm not. God bless her soul. She's dead and gone now. But yeah, she wasn't your average woman. She was not your average woman. She was a handful for any man to deal with, dad, husband, anybody. So, but as I got older, I talked to my dad, and he confirms the things that I thought about my mom, after she passed away. And after he confirmed what I kind of suspected, and I remember saying when I was about 28, I remember saying to myself one day, getting ready to go to work, I I can understand why a man going through as much as he goes through. I'm not saying it's right, but I can see why some men leave.
Yeah.
I can understand why some men leave.
Yeah.
Not trying to justify what men do, not trying to say it's right or wrong.
No, we all been there, man. We all been there, bro.
Just say I understand.
Yeah, I understand.
And so when I had that conversation with my dad, it was like, the things that you confirm is what I understood about life. And so he began to explain to me, like, yeah, this is what this is what your mom was. This is what she did. This is some issues that we had. I asked him. He didn't tell me. I asked him.
Yeah.
I say, did you see this? Did you see this? He was like, I was like, no, don't be afraid to answer these questions. Just man to man, tell me, did you see what I see? And those are real talks, man. So as young men, I try to tell them, don't take everything your mom say as truth,
as gospel. But a lot of us, we don't know, because when you just only got that voice in your head your whole life, that's all you do. But yeah, I'm going to get up out of here. Hold on a second. I see big old big unibrow back there.
Yeah, I'm a Lakers fan.
Yeah, man, we got man. That brother, we need to sit down and have a little talk with him.
Yeah, we do. We
gotta have a talk with man. This brother need to come to Jesus meeting. On my mama, that dude need to come to Jesus meeting.
So I'm gonna go and give you, like I'm a real one.
Oh yeah. You got it bad. You got it bad. Is that magic on the back? Yeah.
Yeah, that's magic back though.
Man, yeah, you got it. My God, man, you got it bad.
That's the GOAT right there, though. That's the GOAT right there.
I can't have that conversation with you, man.
My bad, I ain't mean to camera like that telling your show. What? Go ahead.
Yeah, the GOAT. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I'm rooting for the Lakers. I want LeBron to get another ring or two. I am rooting for that. But big homie back there, man, my God, somebody need to, I don't know what he need to do. I don't know, somebody need to punch him in the face. I don't know. They just need, when he come out motivated and angry, ain't no stopping that brother. We just got to figure out a way to get him that way all the time. If AD had Jordan or Kobe's motor, we wouldn't be talking about LeBron being the GOAT. Because remember, he was what wasn't he a 2-guard in college? Then all of a sudden he shot up like that?
I think they said in high school he was a 1.
Yeah,
he was a 1 in high school.
That's why he shot like that.
He shot up like to like from 6'1" to whatever he is right now.
Yeah.
By the time he went to college.
Yeah, what he's 6'10", something like that. Yeah,
6'10", yeah.
That brother can shoot like that's why he can shoot like that. All right, man. Let's get on up out here. I appreciate you. We'll be back at it Thursday. I'm gonna have some fun with TLA on Thursday, though. I mean on Friday. I appreciate you for coming on up, all right?
Yeah, man. Enjoyed the conversation.
All right. And I'm gonna give you something before you get up out of here, because I appreciate you for coming up. Yeah, I appreciate you coming on up, brother. Let's get on up out of here, boy. Oh my goodness.
I don't play.
Yes.
King. I'm a king cause I do what I want and what I need. I don't need you to nobody, I'm busy doing my thing. Mess with me and you could get forgotten, just let it sing. I don't play, I just win every day, I get it in. I'm a king cause I do what I want and what I need. I don't need you to nobody, I'm busy doing my thing. Mess with me and you could get forgotten, just let it sing. I don't play, I just win every day, I get it in. I'm a king and I will never knew. Plotting for my fall, you getting hanged for treason. I don't aim to please, do anything I feel. Haters gonna talk, don't listen to the shit. They tryna be like me, they know they can, yo. Can't even get lost, I'm on a pedestal, sitting on my throne. My neck be decked in gold, I don't do no hoes. I got a queen though, I'm a king cause I do what I want and what I need. I don't need you to nobody, I'm busy doing my thing. Mess with me and you could get forgotten, just let it sing. I don't play it, I just win every day, I get it in. I'm a king cause I do what I want and what I need. I don't need you to nobody, I'm busy doing my thing. Mess with me and you could get forgotten, just let it sing. I don't play it, I just win every day, I get it in. I'm a king, I told you guys before, ready for the war, to get me way much more. Gather all the spoils, add them to my kingdom. Shout out to my fans for pledging your allegiance. You get a reward, the best flow you've ever heard. I don't be mixing with birds, I'm a lion on the surge. Always pushing to the edge, facing arrows, never scared. For my greatness I'm a servant, only under myself. I'm a king cause I do what I want and what I need. I don't need you to nobody, I'm busy doing my thing. Mess with me and you could get forgotten, just let it sing. I don't play it, I just win every day, I get it in. I'm a king cause I do what I want and what I need. I don't need you to nobody, I'm busy doing my thing. Mess with me and you could get forgotten, just let it sing. I don't play it, I just win every day, I get it in.